What's up guys, welcome back to another episode, and today's video I got 5 more tips for help coaching football. Now, like I've talked about every time I've done a video like this in the past, I coach football since 2015 at this point, and I coached in very specific situations where we had kids with learning disabilities, developmental disabilities, players of a bunch of different ages all mashed together in one team. A very unique situation that imparted a ton of wisdom and information to me at a young age that I'd love to share. Okay, here's 5 that are going to be a little different than some of the classics, but I think are very important. Okay, number 1 is going to be, you can make a greater impact on a kid when they really relate to you and they really understand you and they respect where you're coming from and your advice, right? So the number 1 thing you can do to help gain that trust, that respect, is be involved in these kids' lives and try and find ways to relate to them. Try and find common ground and stay up to date on what's happening in their lives. Ask them how they're doing, how everything is at home. Talk about subjects in school. It's little stuff like that. Like literally you having a conversation with them, they're talking about like math, and you're talking about how like, oh, you like how much you hated math and how much has changed or something. Just something that you can have a conversation, relate to them, and get on the same level. Number 2 is gonna be really easy. Follow accounts that talk about coaching. Huh? Right? Subscribe right there. Right? We talk about coaching all the time on here, and that's because I'm really passionate about coaching and I love coaching football. Find places that, first off, instill a passion in you, keep that passion going, and give you great information that you can help employ in your own coaching. This is always one of my favorite ones when I don't really have a plan for the day when I show up to practice, when I'm trying to figure out like what we actually want to work on. Now, a lot of times, right, you're like, yeah, no, today we're coming and we're working on down blocks. We just had a game. Our down blocks were terrible. It disrupted everything. We had linemen in the backfield. Got to work on that, okay? You have that game plan, but sometimes you just don't. Sometimes you just have work before, or you're busy, or something happens. You just don't have a ton of game planning that you had for that day. What do? I ask players what they want to do. It's really simple. Just go up and say, what do you guys want to work on today? And they're like, you know what? Like, I think I really want to work on my pulls. And you're like, perfect. Let's get everyone here. Let's get everyone working on pulls. Work on this. It is great every like 2, 3, 4 weeks to have one of those days where you just ask the kids, like, what do you guys want to do today? What do you think you're lacking in? And then you can agree or disagree, but work on it and help improve the entire unit. Because who knows, although the one person suggesting pulling might be like a 9 out of 10, you might have a kid that's like a 6 out of 10 that you don't have like the individual time for. So bring them all together, get working on it. All right, number 4 is gonna be, I think, one of the most underrated ones on the field. And that's gonna be, have fun with the kids, right? You always have those coaches that are so serious, and every minute of it, like you have to like, right, film has to be serious all the time. They're never cracking jokes and it's always about winning, but it's like, dude, it's high school football, let's have fun. Right, one of my favorite things to do was called Hoggy Ball. And what Hoggy Ball was it was a game that the linemen played where at our position time in one practice, we would all go in the end zone and basically play like a 5-on-5 touch football game, but it was called Hoggy Ball because you weren't allowed to run. You could only like speed walk at max. And it was just like a really fun game to play. You got to take your helmets off, leave them on the sideline, and just like wind down and come together as a group. And I had coaches, when I coached and I did this, I would come and scream at me, right? It'd be like the day before a game, and they'd be like, do you have anything better to do at the time when we have a game tomorrow? I'm like, here's my checklist for the week. I hit everything we want to cover. We went through the game plan. We worked on the things we were lacking on, and we finished ahead of schedule because the kids were on top of it and they came dialed in and focused this week. So we're going to play some Hoggy Ball. Now, the last one's going to be, there's a balance to this kind of stuff, right? So you kind of have to balance between being a friend with them and being a coach to them. Sometimes if you try and relate to them too much, you try and do too much fun things to become their friend and make it so they really listen to you, you kind of go a little too far, and then they don't respect you when you yell at them and you're trying to give them like really constructive criticism. So you just have to make sure that, yeah, you're friends with them and you're having fun with them, but you still have to remind them like you are still a coach. There's still a level of respect that has to go back and forth here. So just make sure you keep that balance. There you guys go, a very quick, very simple video for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, we put out 2 every single week like this. Subscribe for more content down below. Like the video. Thanks for watching.